Hey guys, this is a full breakdown on how I changed my career, 7 years in construction, and change it into a software developer after 3 months of self-taught myself and land my first tech job back in 2022, the same year that ChatGPT was released publicly to the world. It's the same year that I land my first tech job, and because I have so many requests from my thread followers that they really want to know how am I changing my career. I mean, 7 years in construction as a project engineer, and then what makes me change? What are the turnaround? What are the wake up call that makes me to change career into tech? And currently I really have the flexibility and earn more and work remotely with a US company. And I'm living the dream that I always wanted. So, in this video, I want to share to those of you guys who are still either struggling to figure out what you guys want to do, what kind of career that you want to take, and maybe a lot of you guys watching this video want to know, like, how do I change from my current uh, career into, and then how you want to step into a tech company. And this is the exact video that you guys supposed to see, and I'm going to share based on my own personal experience. It might, you can watch other people's video, but this video specifically is my own journey, and I'm going to share with you the full breakdown and the whole story on how do I change my career from construction until what I have achieved today. So let's begin. um, let's go back to 2022. So at this state is I'm actually uh, working, as you can see in the video, that I still wearing my safety vest. I'm wearing my safety helmet, and I'm working as a project engineer. And in the same time, I have a regulated license as a risk assessor in safety and health, and that is my job. But they are problem that I have been working in this career since I graduated back in 2014, and I prolonged with this same career until 2022. And what I want you guys to focus on is at this three column, okay? Which is the green one is column win. Win means what I have earned when I have become this career, and this the middle column called losses is where I feel that the loss that I had in this career, and the yellow column is desire, is what kind of career that I want or that I desire. And this is very important because at the end of this video, you can see how this column change its attribute, and from there that you can evaluate as well, maybe personally yourself, that actually what are your current career that you feel you win, and also what losses that you had when you hold your current career. And actually I want you to figure out as well that what are your desired career, because this is solely based on myself, and this is just like as an example so that you can map yourself and you can start compare uh, on your current career and also your desired career. In this context, in this video is focusing on changing from construction into tech. So um, I have enrolled, I would say, enroll in this career. Before that, my English is a broken English because I'm not a English is not my mother tongue. But I can speak very basic English, and I hope you guys bear with me. Um, so in this career, um, I had my moment. All right, and the reason why I choose this career as a project engineer in the first place is not because from my own will. It because I have made mistake. What kind of mistake? Is the mistake that I've done is that I have uh, take a degree program that I personally has no passion with. Okay, I have graduated as a mechanical bachelor's degree in university, and the reason why I took that degree program is because I want to re-enroll myself to become a commercial pilot. But midway, I realized that I have no longer interest towards becoming a pilot, and I don't want to talk much about that. It's more like I see some inconsistency in terms of the economy in flying industry, and on top of that, there are anxiety as well when you become a pilot. It's not just you hold that title, like for example, like maybe captain, but you also hold a big responsibility because all the onboarding people in that airplane is under your responsibility. If you make mistake, it costs a lot of life. And also in the same time, I figure out that I'm quite afraid of height. So to summarize, midway I have no passion no longer into becoming a commercial pilot. But who knows, in the future I might as well take a like a personal a flying license. Who knows if I have uh, time and money. I still want to at least experience flying an airplane, but not for now, not as a full-time job. So that's the reason why I take a bachelor's degree, is because I live in Malaysia. So in Malaysia, you have two paths to become a pilot. It's either you take the private path where it costs you money, but it doesn't guarantee you anything. For example, you can enroll yourself, you can take loan with either government body or maybe a private sector like bank. Um, like you can borrow money and you can enroll yourself in that private flying academy, which costs you around, I think today costs around maybe $200,000 USD for, I think, 6 to 1 year full program to complete the flying hours and also pass the examination. Or you can take if I'm not mistaken, the sponsorship route, where in Malaysia we have two big, like well-known airlines that they have this opening for a cadet pilot on a yearly basis. But the requirement to that is you have to be, I think, less than 35 or 33 years old. I'm not sure. And if you do not have, for example, here we call SPM. I don't know, maybe in US what kind of certificate when you finish high school, but in Malaysia, when you finish high school, you will have this one certificate called SPM Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia. So it's either you score uh, like straight A's in that certificate, or there's a second chance you can take any bachelor's degree in engineering, and you can reapply in their cadet pilot uh, opening, I would say, and they will do full sponsor for that program. And after you graduated, they will absorb you work as their pilot. So the second route was my option. And as I mentioned, I have no longer desired to become a pilot. So I've end up with my, I would say, bachelor in mechanical degree. So because I have no passion and to have to work in such a good company in Malaysia, which if I would say in Malaysia, uh, only 3% we call it a government linked company or multinational company, which pays you really good, but the rest of 97% is SME, which mean a small to medium size enterprise company, which definitely won't pay you a good salary, like a median salary. And unfortunately, I live in Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur is the mega city in Malaysia, in West Malaysia. So it's like New York. It's like Big Apple in America, but in Malaysia, I live in the Kuala Lumpur, like New York, the Big Apple of Malaysia. So it costs you a lot of money, like insurance, yeah, healthcare, and accommodation and food, and on and on. And I'm married as well, so I have no choice. I have to apply to whatever that I could to continue living. And when I was working in the construction, I have feel that after 1, 2, and 3 years, it felt excited, but afterwards I start realize something, and that realization I breaking down into bullet point. And if you can see in the middle here, that I feel that this kind of job is physically dependent. It means that this job you cannot work remotely because it's a physical job, it's a construction site. You need to be physically on the site for you to do the job, meaning you don't have the flexibility to work from anywhere, if you to make it short. And then it's location dependent. It means that if I work construction in Malaysia, so it tying to the to Malaysia. I if I Because it is regulated in Malaysia. When you do construction, is quite highly regulated. It has a lot of laws and rules when you want to build a building. So I can have an option to maybe have an opportunity to find a company in Malaysia, a construction company in Malaysia, but they have a project outside of the country. But like I said, that kind of opportunity is very hard because, as I mentioned, fundamentally that Malaysia is 97% SME, and most of the big company, which is among of the public entity, which is MNC, multinational company like Petronas, like maybe a power company, um, and GLC, government linked company. Only these company that have the capacity to venture into other countries, like building construction for other country. So these are more than the 3% big company that highly likely will have a project outside the country. So the rest of SME is most likely to be inside the company. So because I have mentioned earlier that I have part of the SME, which is the 97%. So my job is definitely location dependent. And next is license dependent. In my line of work, I am also a licensed risk assessor, which means if I do not have a license, I cannot do the job. If I cannot do the job, I cannot get the money that I desired. So that's what I mean. And this license need to be renewed, need to be upgraded every 1 year and a half or 2 year, if I'm not mistaken, because I have left this, I think, for more than 3 years. So as I recall, every 1 year and a half uh, or 2 years, I have to renew this license. And it's not just going to a counter and, hey, miss, I want to renew. This is the amount of money and please renew my license. It's not as simple as that. You have to go through again the examination, the physics examination. They want to see, are you fit to do the role? Are you uh, being mentally fit? Are you knowledgeable fit to do this job? Uh, so if you pass, then you can get the license. If you do not pass, you has to spend more money to re-enroll yourself into the examination for you to renew your construction or safety license. So which means this job is dependent on the license. And then let's go to the bullet point number 4, that this is a project based industry. It means in construction industry that if there is no project, there is no job, because mechanical graduates or construction, not construction, I would say like engineering graduates are a lot each year. Imagine if 1 year we have three batches of graduates. So every year I have to compete, and the numbers of project in Malaysia is fixed, but the graduate is getting more and more, which mean this supply is more than demand. So it's get more competitive, and I have to keep on compete, keep on to grinding to upgrade my license, making that working. So ultimately, without project, there is no job. Period. All right. Okay, and then non-innovative environment. So there is no, I would say they are innovation, but from my perspective in construction, the innovation part is at the architectural level. For example, the architect that want to design the building, the uh, the uh, I forgot the term, the term for that particular engineer who designed the, for example, the structures that approve that these are allowed to to allow this type of a structure to be built in Malaysia. There was one term that I forgot. On this particular group of engineers, yes, they are innovative, but the rest of 90%, we just following a drawing, because drawing were given from them and we just follow. There is no innovation. Every project is always the same. There is no innovation. It's just following brick by brick, steel by steel, and then I have to instruct the worker to follow the drawing. I have to make sure that they come to work on time. I have to make sure that they work uh, following all the safety rules on site by the main contractor. I have to make sure the material was delivered on site on time. I have to make sure the progress were progressing as scheduled. So there is no innovation. Every project has the same uh, environment, has the same vibe. And then let's keep going. No career growth. No career growth. I know those people in construction might disagree with me, but for me, I would say for the past 7 years, when I say no career growth, it means that if I want to earn more, I need to acquire more certificate. Maybe currently I'm an engineer, and then I want to earn more. I took a safety license, and then as graduates, every year keep coming in into the industry, I need to outcompete them. I need to take more license so that I always outcompete these new graduates. So in terms of career, I feel that it's quite stagnant, and there is a point where I feel I've reached the ceiling. I don't mind, but the problem is that ceiling doesn't increase the amount of my salary. So that's the problem. And then stagnant income come again to what I mentioned before. I've reached the ceiling, and the income was never going to go even more unless, for example, if I work in one project, in order for me to make more, I have to work in for two projects. But the problem is I cannot uh, be at two places at the same time. If I have a power to clone myself, maybe like the Naruto Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, then I can clone myself, and Ash A is over here and Ash B is over there, then I can make money. But if I can have that kind of superpower, other people definitely going to do the same. I mean, joke aside. And then the no time flexibility, it 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 align with the first point, which is physically dependent. I don't have time flexibility because construction normally will start in the morning or late night, so I have to obey by the time. And construction also highly regulated industry, is has a lot of rules. I have to obey the safety protocols that are part of the country's law. And also, one of my job as a risk assessor, that I need to have a machine called gas detector. And if I don't have this machine, I cannot do the job as a risk assessor. And if I cannot do the job as a risk assessor, I cannot earn more money. And this machine is not just you buy once and you can use forever the entire of your career. This machine need to be regulated on a yearly basis. If I'm not mistaken, there are times where I have to do maintenance on this machine every 6 months. So, and it cost me, I think, around $100 per maintenance, which means no maintenance, no machine, no license, no money. So it's too dependent into these things that I feel, oh man, there is no freedom in having this job. And then let's keep going. And then it's authority dependent. And this kind of job as a risk assessor is that if one day the government realize that we already have a machine to do risk assessment on construction site, maybe some drone that able to scan the whole construction site and auto create reports, for example, who knows, in the future they can say we no longer need a human risk assessor, let's terminate, let's use machine, then I have no job. Okay, that's what I mean by authority dependent. My job is dependent on the law. If they revoke the law, I have no job. So there is no job security in that sense. And then in terms of and then in this line of work, I have exposed to long-term physical hazard. Okay, what I mean is that when I go into construction site, I exposed to a high decibel sound, like people hacking and sirens and a lot of noise, basically. And the when you expose into this kind of environment, not just about the sound, is the smoke. It affected your lung. It affected your eyesight. When you expose this on a daily basis, definitely is going to affect you. Even if you work in a factory that have a lot of machine sound. That's why when to those who work in a factory on a construction, you realize even though you don't feel like it's too noisy, but it still gave you the earplug. Or in some other factory like chemical, they will give you a glove and a face mask, right? Because you are working there at a daily basis, you are exposing yourself to this very subtle hazard that might not affected you instantly, but it will affected you in the long term. So these are one of the hazard. Even me as a programmer today, I still have a long-term hazard, which is I sit at a very long period of time. So that's why one of the initiative is that we have to buy a adjustable table so that we do not have to sit for a long period of time, and maybe we can adjust the table to be more higher so that we can stand up maybe for 1 hour or some minutes. And then weekend jobs, I have to work on the weekend as well. This is the one of the worst that I felt. And even though I make money, but it really, I don't know, man. I feel working over weekend is like, if I make a lot of money, it's okay. But the thing is, I make money, but I don't feel like it worth it. I feel like the weekends are time, at least as I work 9 to 5, maybe 9 to 5, and at least weekend is for me to hang out with my family. So uh, is one of the worst thing that could happen. Weekend job, and finally, this career is not a hard skill. If you listen to what I mentioned before, that anybody can do what I do as a project engineer or a licensed risk assessor. I just realized when I venture into this position, like you do not even need a degree to become a project engineer. That is one of the uh, things that I've learned when have become a project engineer. So, which means anybody can become or apply to my position, and due to that, as I mentioned, like plus with new graduates that want to come into the industry, this position has become a red ocean, and it's tiring. It's tiring to keep on leveling up, to keep on outcompete, and most important of all, that this career is not hard skill. Hard skill is mean that is a skill that very hard for people to simply uh, acquire. For example, like coding, right? They need time to learn. They cannot learn overnight. For example, like drawing a anime is not is a hard skill. Like for example, uh, like 3D modeling, right? Is a hard skill. So these are, for example, like sculpting. So these are the hard skill. Yeah. So these are the losses that I have when I'm working as a construction. But what I win is that I have a decent amount of salary. But even so, like I mentioned before, I have to do multiple positions to earn that much. And this amount of money mean times four. I cannot reveal the amount of salary, but it just some indicator to show that the amount of money. When I said, okay, man, the triple dollar times four, it means decent amount, because as we go see how I changed my career, you can see the decreasing and increasing of this salary that I have, which is the evolve of salary as I change and uh, jump company along the way. So when I feel and start to be reflecting myself that I have a lot of losses when I had this career compared to win, and I start to dream just like other people. start to have these desires of what kind of job that I have desired. So I want a job which paid a lot of money. That's why bullet point number one is a dollar times 999 means infinite. Excuse me. And I desire a career that have a hard skill. It means that nobody can easily copy what I do, so that I don't have to always outcompete continuously with the market. And then point number three, which is the thing that I want the most, no, second thing that I want the most is to work from anywhere, because I don't believe that we need to focus work on at one places. It makes sense back in the industrial age, but it doesn't make sense in this information age or AI age. And because of the existence of internet, I feel that I want to work from anywhere, so that we do not bound by the currency of the places that we live in. We do not um, bound by the place that we want to live in. So I want to have the flexibility to work from anywhere. Maybe tomorrow I'm still having this job, but I'm not working from Malaysia. Maybe I want to work in Thailand, and maybe next month I want to go to Japan, and next year I want to go to Australia. I don't know. I just want to be anywhere that I want it, but I can still work. And I want time flexibility, because we are too, how do I say, we have to follow the rules of the company. Means you got to clock in at 9, you got to clock out at 5, period. Regardless, you tired, you sleepy, you you hungry, you're not motivated, you sad, your grandma died, whatever, you need to clock in at 9, you got to clock out at 5. And for me, it doesn't make sense, because we are not robot, we are human being. We have our ups and down, and we have things to do. If our employer have things to do, because we notice that sometimes they're not coming at office, right? And they said that I need to go to this place because my kid got soccer game, and he excused himself because he's the boss, he our paymaster, because he himself realized that he himself are not able to commit 9 to 5 every week, 4 times, 4 weeks a month, 12 months a year. They themselves have their own things to do. Definitely, we also as a human being, because our boss is not an angel. They are human being, and we are human being as well. We have our own uh, personal things to do. We have kids, we have family, we have somebody died in our family, funeral to attend. We got some events to celebrate. We have our first born child that we have to accompany our wife to giving birth at the hospital. We are human. So for me, deeply, I felt that clocking at 9, clock out at 5 just doesn't make freaking sense. You want to disagree, it's up to you. But for me, it totally does not make any sense. So I want time flexibility. If you tell me you got to complete 45 hours a week, but you do whatever it takes, all right? Or maybe a company that would say that I this is the term, 40 to 45 hours a week for you to complete a job. But this is just on paper. But as long as you complete the job, I don't mind. This is the task that I've given you for this week, and I need this to be completed. If you don't, if you complete even earlier, I don't mind. You do whatever that you want. You clock in and clock out whatever you want, whichever you want, what time you want, as long as the job complete. If the company give that kind of flexibility, we definitely will be appreciated, and definitely indirectly we will submit, and we will uh, prioritize because the companies give flexibility to us. So definitely we will be very appreciated, and we definitely want to hold on to this kind of job because it's not many companies that give this flexibility to their employee. So this is my desire. I mean, career growth, like I mentioned, working in the construction, there's no career growth. If you want to grow, you want to you want to make more money, you got to keep on applying licenses. You got to spend more money for this certificate, and you got to make sure that you pass the examination, the physical examination, and it is to a point that you feel you're gonna burn out. And I want a career growth that based on my hard skill. Like I mentioned before, the more hard skill that I've trained, the more irreplaceable that I feel to the company. So that kind of career growth that I wanted, it not based on any regulators that told me that maybe create a position for me to apply the job, but I want a career growth that based on my personal experience, based on my own hard skill craft. So that is what I envision and my desire. And I want unlimited income is the same thing as the first bullet point. And then I want to be able to reuse the skill that I had now to generate income. Okay. And then I don't want any job that are dependent into authority. I don't want that. And I don't want any job that have physical hazard. I don't want to work on the weekend. And the number one most important thing that I've desired the most is that I want to have a career to be able to build something from nothing. What I mean is just like Mark Zuckerberg create Facebook from his dorm, just like Jeff Bezos create Kindle from his mini office. Um, so this is the thing that I wanted. I want to feel for myself. And this is a little picture of me in the past working in construction. So this is Kuala Lumpur, and this is one of the project that I've involved in, which is today is already completed. And these are me doing my safety roles, uh, do some safety induction to these workers. And then this is me when I become a project engineer in one of the MNC company, but I quit later after that. Too many company bureaucracy, and I not born to do that. And then this is me wearing some nasty safety boots and wearing helmets. And then this is my machine. If you can see, this is the machine that I've mentioned before that I have to keep on maintenance, and I have to check whether, because these are holes, and people need to make sure, I need to make sure that the place that they want to go in is safe. So these are part of the job for me to earn this much amount of money. Okay, let's move forward. So before that, uh, when I already realized, and I I first of all I spoke to my wife, and I said to my wife that, wife, I cannot do this no longer. Um, um, it it does. I do quite well in this job, but it's eating me day by day. And if I keep on continue doing this job, I might not be myself, and I'm going to die in regrets. So that's what I told her, and she agreed. It's not a he. So she agreed, but in the same time, I told her, if I going to change my career to be in software or in tech, definitely our current income, my current earning is going to slash 50%. And the look at her face is quite worrying, and it's normal for spouse to be worrying because I'm the leader of the clan. So I am the sole provider in my small family, and but he trusts me. He trusts me. Again, she. This is what I mean by I'm not good at speaking English. Uh, she uh, she trusts me, and she said, "It's okay. You have my blessing. Do your best, and I'll support you along the way." So what I've done is that I I do research. Back then, back in 2020, early 2022, there is no chat GPT whatsoever. I look into Google. I read Reddit, and I the first course that I purchased was in Udemy. It was JavaScript mastery, because I want to change into a coding role, but coding role has a lot of position. We have back end, we have front end, we have uh, I don't know. DB admin, yes, that one. We have cloud, we have cyber security, we have DevOps. So I don't know which one to go. So at that time, one of the thing that I need to address is that time is at the essence. The more I delay, the more I procrastinate. So I don't want to go into this tutorial hell kind of loop. So I need to focus what are the 20% effort that I need to make so that it delivers the biggest impact. So to cut short, that all I need is not a certificate. All I need is a portfolio. If I had a portfolio to showcase during the interview, I can land the job. So I need a portfolio. It doesn't matter if the portfolio is nice. The companies that uh, will evaluate me. He want to see if I had that bare minimum that I know how to code, and I know how to work with the tech stack, regardless of what tech stack of my own choice. So what I did in 3 months, that I learned, if I recall, that I learned JavaScript is the hardest. It took me, I think, maybe around 1 month. And then the tech stack that I've chose is React, JavaScript, Express, JS, and I don't do backend like database. I just learn the front end. And the reason why I choose front end as my first role is not because I love front end. My mind is that I what I want is to dive into tech, because it's not about the role, it's about this. It's about my desire. It was never about the role. It was never about programming. It's about this. It's about my desires. And the number one most important thing is that I want to be in a career that I'm able to build something from nothing, and I want to work from anywhere. These two are the thing that I wanted intact, but I do not know which one. If any of the tech role can give me these two, I'm good, because the next is going to contribute into this. So the first thing that I need to land my foot into the doorstep, which is I need to land in tech. And the easiest path to do that with decent amount of salary is to apply as a front end web developer role. So what I've did is that I compress this 3 month, learn JavaScript, learn React, learn Express.js, and I built my first Pokemon e-commerce app. That is my first um, project, and it actually and also I push my changes into GitHub. Uh, so that is one of the portfolio to show to my future employer that I'm actually know how to use control version, and this is my GitHub. And let's see back in 2022, if you can see here that this June until July, so these are the parts where I uh, develop my portfolio, right? So let's going back here. So then I apply, I think not much, not 100 job, but I apply maybe up to 50 job application, and then I got offers from 2 company, and I end up with 1 company. But then this is the next chapter of my life. I land my first job in tech, and I am so happy. So in this company, I have uh, enslaved myself for 1 year and 8 months from 2022 to 2024. Uh, let's focus on the columns again. So as we can see, the win has been increased and the losses has been decreased, and the desires also has been decreased, which means the wins has been filled up. So let's see what the wins. So the win is that I in a position in a career that I have a hard skill, and I'm still not able to get a full remote work, but I got a hybrid work. I'm in a career that I can have a career growth. I'm able to reuse my skill to generate income, which means the same set of skill that I have in my line of work as a front end web developer, I can reuse this to freelance, right? To help other company as well. And then this line of job is not doesn't have any authority dependent. It means this is a innovative career. It's very creative, and there is no authority to say that no, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. No, we can build software and with any architecture that we want, as long that we do not abuse, like we scam other people or we're trying to hack government website. Now in terms of architecture, we have no rule, build the way that you want it. That's why a lot of engineers has built a lot of open source, so we can actually reuse this open source library and mm, like reconnect them together to become one full-fledged software. So bottom line, there is no authority dependent when I have become I have enrolled in this type of career. And then time flexibility, um, yeah, there's a little bit, and the reason why time flexibility is because it's a hybrid work. So yeah, and but not 100%. It it just these I put it here is because I have a hybrid work. So compared to my previous career in construction, uh, there's none. So that's why I have to put it there. Okay, and then I'm able to build something from nothing. Finally, yokata desu! I'm able to get these things that I want the most. That I always remember, if you recall, the founders of Steam, that he said that the programmers of the future are the wizards of the future. Sorry, no, the programmers of today's are the wizards of the future. So we are the wizard of the modern era, where we can create something like bada bing, bada boom, alakazam, bros. And Facebook has been invented. Zam, zam, alakazam. And uh, PayPal has been created. Bada bing, bada boom, Bitcoin has been created. So these are what he meant when he said the programmers of today's are the wizards of the future. Um, so yeah, I really happy because I'm able to uh, have a job that actually to fit in into these desires of myself. But uh, we hold on to celebrate for the total victory, and there because there are losses involved. My income was slash half, and uh, it's not a fully remote job, so it's still physically dependent, and it's still location dependent because I have to commute to go to the office, because the hybrid work is that 3 days you come to office, 2 days you work from home. So I still have to commute, and it's still a similar concept as the construction is a project based industries. These tech agency, they it doesn't have their own product. They are doing a service to build product for others, and the income across almost 2 years, the salary has not increased that much because it's the same concept as before, uh, because it's a project base, it's not a product base. So a project base, if more project, if you want more money, you gotta hold more responsibility. So that's why the income are stagnant. And is a long-term physical hazard. Yeah, working as a programmer, you sit a lot, so it affects your back. Uh, yeah, any office job, it affected your back. And they are weekend jobs. Sometimes they are deadline to push, and I still need to work on weekends. And but at least the desire are getting lesser. The list of my desires are getting lesser because it has been filled up in the wind. But still, I still want my at least my initial salary that I've earned in construction, but in tech. And I still want to have that work from anywhere, because like I said, that able to build something from nothing is number one, and work from anywhere is my top two desire when I want to shift in this career. And then number three is the money, and then the rest. Unlimited income, no physical hazard, which is still tying to this long-term physical hazard, and there's no weekend job. Okay, but these are the rest. And to simplify, when I work in this company, that one of the thing I have realized that I am not good at coding, and the companies in the same time. When I say not good, not good compared to my peers. Yeah, when I say I'm not good, what I meant is I'm not good compared to my peers. That my peers are younger. They are, but I'm not blaming because I'm old. But I'm saying they are well more talented than myself. So if I want to become better at my craft, I cannot outcompete them, because sometimes coding is just talent. Because there are maybe some Nigerian kid in Africa that were 9 year old that can code better than me. So my mature model thinking that I cannot win if I want to outcompete them with my coding skill. But what I have in my previous career is that I understand business. I understand how to manage people. I understand how to manage project. I am able to understand on the higher level view of what's going on in terms of, like I said, in terms of business. So I I'm going to utilize that into this tech. So I might not focus on harnessing my front end skill or JavaScript skill or coding in that sense, but I'm more leveraging myself to understand like the whole ideas of building application. I really focus on this almost 2 years of my experience in the company, really understand about the software development life cycle, because like I said, I want to understand the high level stuff. I need to understand how does front end works with the back end, and why do we need back end, and what are the architecture of back end, and why do we need to choose this tech stack? Why don't we choose this tech stack? Why don't we choose this front end tech stack? Why don't we use this front end tech stack? Why do we need cloud infrastructure? Why don't we build our own um, physical infrastructure, right? Why do we have to uh, uh, have a third party database vendor, for example, like AWS? Why don't we build ourselves our own database physical rack server in our office? So these kind of thing that I want to really understand, like even to the low level, like why we use Windows, why don't we use Linux, why why certain thing we need to access through a SSH or command line, but why can't we just use GUI, like user interface, or like all this type of security stuff? What are the environment, all this software development lifecycle, the way we get requirement from product owner, and then we, after we complete development, we have to update the ticket, and then we have to push to testing. And they are project when they involve CI/CD pipeline, and then I have to understand how GitHub, uh, what do you call it, GitHub, I forgot what it called. There was a CI/CD pipeline that involved with GitHub. Like, I learned all this thing, especially software development lifecycle, throughout my experience in this company. I never focused to enhance my skill in front end developer. Remember, I want you guys to remember, it's not about specialization, it's about your desire. My mindset was never about specialization. It's always about my desire, because that is the first intention when I changed job. It was never front end. And people might oppose this, but I don't care, because the reward is at the end of this video. And I was right. It's okay. We can continue. I don't want to I don't want to spoil too much. So, but then the company, sorry, the company doesn't allow me to upgrade myself, because I said I don't want to do front end anymore. I want to become full stack. Can you uh, allow me to hold a full stack position so that I can engage with back end tech stack, so that I can maybe learn Java, because the back end at that time we are using Java. Let me learn Java. Let me do some simple stuff. Let me do some simple query from database. We use PostgreSQL. We use MySQL for our database. So let me learn that stuff. Let me warm up. Do some simple tasks uh, with that new position, but the company don't allow me. And the reason being is because this company don't want you. The company that I read, their thinking is that you are already good at that position. I want you to keep sitting over there, so that you already good at what you do, so that when you're good at what you do, you keep printing money for me. So you sit there tightly and comfortably. All right? You're comfortable with your job, right? I want you to sit there, and I want you to keep on printing money for me. So that is my thought. And this is not benefited to me, because again, like I said, I need to fulfill my desires. I need to I need to achieve this work from anywhere. I need to achieve this. In order for me to achieve this, I need to upgrade my hard skill. If you don't allow me to upgrade my hard skill, I'm going to move out, because again, my desires are more important. And the boss said that you need to specialize. You need to specialize. To be honest with you, I don't care about specialization. Uh, for me, uh, this is totally 100% my opinion. You can agree to disagree, but at least hear me out. specialization makes sense back in the industrial age. But in the age of AI, when AI can start code for you, when AI can start do a lot of stuff for you, what you need to have is generalization. You need to be a generalist. You need to understand the high level, because the low level activities can be done by AI. And I was right. I don't believe in my boss. I don't know whether he really believed that, or maybe he's just saying that because he want to make me sit there doing my job, be comfortable, and keep printing money for me. All right. When I say for me, it means my boss. I'm talking like a that uh third person. I'm talking as a third person. Yeah, representing my boss at that time. So what I did is I jumped company because I also need this, and I don't believe after I sit in this company for almost 2 years, my salary is increasing, but it doesn't increase like I expected. So again, do some research, and most of the Reddit's people saying that you gotta jump company, bro, if you want to make more. So all right, let's go. So then I move out and I land into my second tech company. And over here, I mentioned second and third tech company. The reason why I have put it together is because it has the same win, losses, and desires. So why don't I just put it there together? And this is quite wrong. I think maybe I just put this. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So in the second and third company, and what I have achieved, finally, that I have earned the amount of salary that I have earned in my construction. So at least I have earned my previous comfortable income that I have in construction. And thanks to changing company, after I changed my career in 2022 and then I land in 2024, it took 2 years at least for me to achieve the comfortable salary that I have in my 7 years of experience in construction. And then the win that I have still, I have a hard skill, and then I have a career growth, and I have the ability to really skill generate. I think that's it. But if you notice that I have taken out hybrid work in this company, there are no longer hybrid and remote work. And then no authority dependent. I still able to build something from nothing. And the losses is I'm still physically dependent because this is totally no remote, no hybrid work. It's totally on site, and then it's location dependent, and it's stagnant income, and then even though I have earned the salary, but then the income was stagnant, never increased, and long-term physical hazard, weekend job still there, no career growth. Again, I want you to sit there. I want you to do whatever that you have comfortable doing, and I want you to keep printing money for me. The same concept, and no time flexibility. And why no time flexibility is because it's not a remote job, and still I desire to work from anywhere, even though I have taken out the amount of money that I previously put here, which is the amount of salary that I've earned in my construction during my construction. I have put in my win, but I still doesn't really acquire the full remote job from anywhere, and I still desire unlimited income. It's still I desire a physical hazard, no physical hazard, and no weekend job. And what I'm trying to say, uh, the thing that I've learned in the second and third company are as the following. Again, my mission was not to be specializing in one role. I want to achieve what I want, which is to work from anywhere, no weekend, and unlimited income. So this is my desire. Always the mission was clear from the beginning. The mission was locked in. And so what I've done in the first tech company, I was focused on software development lifecycle. Now I know how this the process to build a a production software. In this company, in this two company, is that is no longer a software house company where you build product for others. These both of this company is a product a company where they have their own product. So what I've learned is that in this company they have DevOps, they have their own cloud engineer, they have their own full stack, front end web, front and back end. They have specializing in the Webflow, for example, like CMS, like WordPress and Webflow. They have dedicated a database engineer. They have a tech lead, and they have product owner, and they have a consultant. So what I did is I spent most of my energy not specializing in my skill, because what's the point? I'm coming to I'm coming to the office. I'm going to do it anyway. I have to do it by force. So why do I have to put more effort? Because on a daily basis, I have to code. So what I've did every time I have ample time during lunch, during free time, or during some events in the office, what I did, I do not waste time like hanging out for nothing. I reach out to each of these individual, regardless of cloud, DevOps, marketing, back-end engineer, tech lead, consultant. I reach out to all of them and I ask them a lot of questions. I ask them about what they do for work. How does your job brings value to the company? How you do your job at a very low level thing. And then I spoke to consultant and what are the company sees us as engineers. Do you see that the most of the cost was spent on us, or is it most of the cost was spent on the marketing side, and how does this product is going to sustain? This is like high level, sometimes low level discussion, sometimes high level discussion. And then the turning point was that when I spoke to the DevOps, there's one particular DevOps guy which is he really good. What he does at the early of 2024, he do a lot of R&D in AI. So he run uh, his own AI model that he trained himself in his own a computer back home, because he have a high-end computer rigs with a high-end GPU. So that's why he can leverage his computer to train a very train an AI model locally in his computer. And he realized that he tell me that it's going to change for the next 2 to 3 years, and I'm kind of in the middle. So I'm kind of in the middle in the sense that I either want to believe or not, because I just landed this job for the past 2 years. Come on, man, you're not going to say that AI is going to take my job. So what I did is that I have to reconfirm for myself. I heard information from him and I have to reprocess and I have to reconfirm for myself. So what I did is that I'm using this AI tool after work, and I start to develop a production product. So that is where I start to build my first product, BeastFast, where is an AI receipt management for my friend, and it end up to become a SaaS product so that others can subscribe as well. And then I built my second product called AI Landing. This is way before. Uh, I think I think I think it was at the same time Cursor was exists. I think Cursor was developed back in 2024. I'm not sure, but but for sure there was Bolt.new, and then there was V0 by Vercel, that user can create UI component via prompt. And I start to play around with these tools, and I start to learn about MCP, and I start to learn about Claude Code, and I start to playing around with NNN. At that very moment when I myself have built a SaaS product on my own as a solopreneur, no, as a solo founder, it what he said is true. At that time, one final validation. I have a tech lead that sat beside me, and I asked him, and let's say his name is uh Mark. Okay, so I asked Mark, like, Mark, he younger than me, like at that time 4 years old, younger than me, but he's a tech lead because he's already have 8 years of experience as a software engineer and is with the company when the company just started to was like a very small company. And I asked Mark, hey Mark, you are talented, Mark. Okay, I respect you as my tech lead, but I have a question for you. With your skill, why don't you build your own product that you feel, the product that you desire? Why don't you build, like, when you go back home and off working hours, why don't you like build something for yourself? And he said that, no, I'm good. I'm I don't have any desire to build anything. I just want to work. At that very moment, I just realized that not all programmers are builders. Okay, that the programmers, they just want to do as a 9 to 5 job, nothing more, nothing less. They don't really care. They just have this skill and they just want to have a job. At that very point, I just realized that okay, I'm different. I am more success driven. I'm more high achiever. High achiever means not for the thing that I've not believed, but more high achiever to the things that I believe. Like I mentioned, like the thing that I have mentioned here that I've desired. So uh, so at that point of time, I start to lose focus on the work that I've done for the company. I start to go all out on building SaaS application to test whether this AI is really is to test it most capabilities to see that is AI truly going to change the whole landscape of software engineering. And to cut it short, yes, it does. It does change. It does change today. As I release this video, it does change the landscape of software engineering. And I was right. And later after that, I changed to another company, the third company, that I'm no longer become a software engineer because the hard skill that I have is no longer for me to build for the company, but is for to build the software for myself. So that's why the next role, I'm no longer as a software engineer, but I work as an AI automation comes product owner, which deal a lot with AI automation and a lot of AI coding tools so that we can speed up development. And I'm more managing sub engineers under myself. Uh, but still, even though I have acquired this position, which is I desired a hard skill, but I still didn't get this thing. So I need to nail this. I need to nail this down. I need, because there is no point for me to have this kind of role as a tech working very closely with internet, but I cannot work from anywhere in the world. There is no point. It doesn't serve the purpose of me changing to this career. I need to fill this up. So what I did is that I used all the portfolio that I've built, all the experience that I had, and I keep finding a job. I focusedly on US remote job. And one day there was a role for AI automation with fintech company in Canada. Sorry, in yes, in Canada, but it also covers US region. So it's a fintech company, and I go and I apply. I gone through the four phase of interview, and finally, after 3 years uh, working in tech, I land uh, my desired role as a fully remote US job, as no longer as a software engineer, but an AI automation engineer. And these are the updates that not just I'm able to work from anywhere, but the salary was double from my career in construction, and even in time it doesn't fix clock 9, clock in 9, clock out 5, but I'm able to the companies have this concept of we give you a task, as soon as you finish the task, it's okay. It's still hard skill. There's a lot of career growth inside the company. There are potentially unlimited income, not because of the company, but potentially unlimited income because of the hard skill that I have earned, and I'm able to reuse the skill to generate income. And definitely it's non-authority dependent and no physical hazard. I think this one, uh, the reason why I put it here, because because I'm not tying to any office. I'm able to work from my house, so I'm able to maybe purchase a adjustable table. So that's how I counter for this point. There's no weekend job, all right, and I'm able to build something from nothing. But the loss is still there. I still have to admit that a long-term physical hazard because you sit a lot, even though I can stand up, but I still want I want to be genuine that there's still a long-term physical hazard for your back, so you need to always be aware. And I no longer have, for this latest job that I had, all the desired has been fulfilled, and I'm really truly blessed to God that all my hard work has been shown, and all my prayer has been answered. And the reason why I share to you guys is that uh, the most important thing is that it's not about the role, it's not about the specialization, but you have to list out the things that you desired, because that is the most important thing. It's not about how many certificate that you take, that how many um uh like you need to be loyal to one company. You cannot rely on other entity to plan for you. You need to plan for your own life. You need to plan for your own career. If you let the companies decide how much salary you get, you let the company decide how you're going to work, you do not have control over your life. And because to have a job consume, I would say 60% to 70% of your life, because you spend 8 to 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, right? 5 days a week, 12 months a year. So it's most of your time spent on your work. If you do not plan like what kind of desired job that you want, then what's the point? What's the point? So these thing that I've shared with you, that if I, with very limited knowledge, not really expert in coding among my peers, I'm still able to acquire all this thing that I've desired, and I have built 5 SaaS product in one solid years, and I'm able to work from anywhere, any place. It is something that a lot of people might just think that this is impossible, but I did it. If I and an average person am able to achieve this, I think you can too. And I hope this can be a motivation. And if you guys want to maybe have a more detail on more structured plan on how you want to change your career, you can uh, yeah, set a call with me in the link below. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And I'm very active on Thread, so you can follow me on Thread as well. And yeah, I wish you all the best of luck, and I hope that these breakdowns help you in some way, because a lot of people been asking me like how you do it. And this is the whole story of how I changed my career from construction into tech. So I really hope that you guys found your uh, oh my goodness. Okay, it's okay. I hope you guys like really achieve what you guys want to achieve. And don't worry, there will be more videos coming. And if you want to know about something, just leave in the comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.